Regular agenda. There's a bunch of correspondence, but I don't think anything looked too earth-shattering. Okay, seeing none, we'll move to agenda item 2.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to adopt the agenda for the September 27th, 2021 regular meeting of Council as presented, and that a copy of this agenda be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Randy, second. Rob, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Anyone see any conflict of interest items on the agenda? I didn't notice any, but I think so. And agenda item 4.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 5:02 p.m., that the regular meeting of Council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover, seconder, please. Warren? Rob? All in favor? Carried. Please, Andy, Gary. All in favor? Thank you. Agenda item 7.1, financial, Audrey?
Yeah, so this is to the end of August. Basically, there were no new explanations. Everything's the same as it was the month before, with explanations to any large variances in there. So most of them are on track or
Nothing too red on there.
no.
Okay, any questions of Audrey on the financials? Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 7.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to direct the Mayor and CAO to enter into an agreement with SAS Power Corporation and SAS Telecommunications for a utility easement. Deputy Administrator Kim, can you just give us a...
Sure. So this is just this is one of our basic easement agreements. So it's a joint use agreement with SAS Power, SAS Tel, and Access Communications. So they all share the same trench. So whenever they're putting new lines in the ground, we do an easement agreement. And this one is to accommodate the new subdivision, the new lots in town.
Any questions, Council? If not, I need a mover and a seconder, please. Chris for the move, Warren for the second. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Agenda item 8.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept as submitted the list of accounts as paid by the Town of Kindersley in the amount of $268,672.40, and that a copy of said accounts be attached to and form a part of the minutes of this meeting. CAO, Audrey, did you get any queries on that?
I did not.
Anybody see anything that wanted to question at this point? I don't. This big one there, one of the bigger ones, is Ace Irrigation, which is for the Kinsman Park sprinkler system and everything. It just got done, I guess, not that long ago. Nobody's got any queries. I need a mover and a second. Go ahead, Rob.
Tractor one. What's that repair of?
Which one's that?
Grant tractor. Equipment repair. Just curiosity. It's number 18660.
6514 or 1614?
I would have to pull that one. I know it's not the loader.
No.
I was just gonna say that's not the new loader.
No.
Just just
I'll have to pull the invoice. I can send that out.
Kim can get that to Rob on that. Anything else that you see? If not, I'll need a mover and a seconder for this too, please. Randy? Gary? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, reading time. Agenda item 9.1. Whereas the town of Kindersley is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting Kindersley, and whereas the council of the town of Kindersley proudly supports the firefighters of the Kindersley Fire Department as one of the most highly trained departments in the province, proficient in both firefighting and emergency rescue techniques, and who are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention, protection, education, and whereas the 2021 Fire Prevention Week theme, Learn the Sounds of Fire Safety, effectively serves to remind us it is important to learn the different sounds of smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Whereas smoke alarms detect smoke well before you can, alerting you to danger in the event of fire in which you may have just seconds to escape safely, and whereas working smoke alarms save lives by providing early warning of fires so you and your family can safely escape, and whereas Kindersley residents should be sure everyone in town understands the sounds of the alarms and knows how to respond. Therefore, I, Rod Perkins, Mayor of the town of Kindersley, do hereby proclaim October 3rd to the 9th, 2021 as Fire Prevention Week, and I urge all people of the town of Kindersley to learn the sounds of fire safety and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the town of Kindersley's fire and emergency services. Could I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Chris, Rob? All in favor? Okay. Thank you. Oops, I skipped one here. Agenda item 10.1, that the council of the town of Kindersley resolves to approve the first reading of bylaw 0121, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 10 or 0114, bylaw to regulate the Kindersley Cemetery. CAO Audrey, can you speak on this, please?
Yeah, so this amendment to our current cemetery bylaw was amending the specifications for the Field of Honor. This was done in conjunction with the Kindersley Legion to make sure and define who is allowed to go into the Field of Honor. So the basic changes in this bylaw is that they've allowed and have classified family members to immediate family members to be allowed into the Field of Honor along with a veteran. So if and these include the father, mother, parental figure, sibling, child of the veteran. So as long as a veteran is in the cemetery, then they can also be buried in there as well along with him, type of thing. So.
This was just an addition or an amendment?
This is an amendment for
to
now,
the
yes.
bylaw
Yeah.
that currently was in place. Any questions on that, council, as far as, we got a few readings to go through here, but I need a mover and seconder for number 1, which is Dean and Warren. All in favor? Okay, and we'll move on to 10.1, that the council of town of Kindersley resolves to approve the second reading of bylaw 0121. Again, I'll need a mover and seconder, please. Randy? Rob? All in favor? Great, thank you. Again, that the council of town of Kindersley resolves to approve that 3 readings be given to bylaw 01/21 at September 27th, 2021, regular meeting of council. Mover, seconder again, please, Chris and Dean. All in favor? Thank you. And finally, that the council of town of Kindersley resolves to approve that bylaw 01-2 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 0114, a bylaw to regulate the Kindersley Cemetery, be read a third time and hereby be approved, and that the approved copy of this bylaw be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Randy? Second, Gary? All in favor? Gary, that one's done. And 10.2, that the council of town of Kindersley resolves to approve the first reading of bylaw 0821, being a bylaw to regulate the cleaning of snow, ice, and other debris from public sidewalks and roadways. Deputy Administrator Kim.
Sure, so this is the snow clearing bylaw, 0821, and so it replaces our previous snow clearing bylaw. The only changes that were made to this is in the enforcement section, just on the fines. There was 2 of them that the dollar amounts changed, and that is clearing snow onto public property or private land without owner approval. So basically, and the biggest thing that we were seeing was in the industrial area, a lot of the snow on the lots getting put into the drainage ditches, and the work that we've been trying to do in the industrial area, we just want to keep good drainage going, and that ends up filling up the drainage ditches with silt and whatnot from their lots. So that was the only changes, but we were talking perhaps of making another change in the bylaw that would allow for some of the downtown businesses to perhaps put their snow on the street, like having a certain time frame where they could put it on the street because they don't have any area to clear it to before we actually clean the streets. This would be limited to just the sidewalks themselves, not any of the private parking lot areas or anything that any of the commercial businesses would have. And I guess what I see is perhaps a map getting inserted within the bylaw that would show the allowable areas that we would possibly allow. So if we were to add this, then perhaps we wouldn't do all 3 readings tonight, and we could do that at the next council meeting.
Yeah, that was the summation we came up with in our in-camera session, that perhaps we'd better be crystal clear on the downtown area. I know it caused us a fair bit of grief and some controversy, I guess, last year when we did have a major snow event or 2, and so I think we're going to go back to administration to fine-tune the bylaw a little bit so that it's pretty specific on the Main Street businesses and what they can and can't do, so that they know where things lie. So that, has council got anything to add on that? I was kind of a really Reader's Digest version of what we talked about for 20 minutes or more in camera.
And I think we don't mind when the snow is put on the street prior to the snow being cleared. It's just frustrating as soon as we clear the street and then it goes next to the curb, and then the snow is sitting in the parking lane, and then we're dealing with a lot of ice issues and whatnot. So if it could be put on the street prior to the grader going past, then I don't think we have an issue with it.
Anybody else? Anything? Randy, you're a downtown guy.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's paramount that the retailers or the professional offices get their snow shoveled off those sidewalks, you know, as quick as they can by 9-ish or in and around there before the town public works guys come in, because yeah, it's just in the best interest of the seniors and people parking there that, you know, won't fall and break elbows and that kind of thing. So it's really up to the businesses to buy in here and get this done so that it's not futile for the public works guys to come down and then have it all piled out there afterwards. So we'll have to deal with that.
So I think what we'll do is we will pass the first reading right now, so I'll need a mover and seconder for that. Chris, Rob? And all in favor? And then I have a motion 10.3, a resolution that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to table agenda item 10.2, snow clearing bylaw 0821 to the October 12th, 2021 regular meeting of council, where Deputy Administrator Kim will come back with probably a map attached, and we can be totally specific on the bylaw and who it applies to and how it applies. If that's an agreement, council, I will need a mover and a seconder for that, please. Warren. Second, Gary. All in favor? Carried. Agenda item 11.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the consent agenda, which is correspondence, including the following items: Sask Water Monthly Report, the Whirly Board meetings for August, Water Security Agent, a couple of permits to construct, or a letter and permit, Ministry of Government Relations, a couple of approvals, and the building permits issued 2018 to 2020. It's all in your correspondence. No questions. I would take a mover and seconder for that, please, Dean. Second, Bob. All in favor? Thank you. Gets us to agenda item 15.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves that all business having been concluded, the September 27th, 2021 regular meeting of council be adjourned at 7:10 p.m. Mover, seconder, please. Chris, Warren. All in favor?